Well, hello girls and gays. Welcome back to another edition of Movies Red to Filth. Today's victim is the 1998 animated classic Mulan. This should be fun. Today's movie request comes from a Mr. Zach Turner. I graciously obliged because I'm such a humanitarian. But if you don't appreciate what I have to say, then pour all your venom onto him. I'm just the messenger. And as they say, don't shoot the messenger. If you have any more requests for movies for me to read to filth, pop it in the comments section below. You can add me on Twitter, Instagram, it's all in the video description down below. But don't hold your breath, I only give the charity once a year. Alright, gather around children, it's time for Mama to tell you a timeless tale of challenging gender norms, racial stereotyping, and cross-dressing hijinks. That's right, Mulan was doing drag before it was cool and mainstream. Based on a 6th century folk song, because apparently Disney will literally exploit anything in order to make money, the Chinese legend of Mulan was a fierce warrior who disguised herself as a boy so she could take her father's place in the Imperial Army. I mean, nowhere in the folk song does it mention wisecracking dragons, cricket alarm clocks, or demonic Attila the Hun villains, but Disney loved to take advantage of that artistic license of theirs. Anyway, the plot begins with a spry young Chinese girl called Mulan failing at all her ladylike exams. You know, the things that define a woman, like having childbearing hips, pouring a mean cup of tea, and remaining silent for her male superiors. You know, essentially being a subservient, perfect porcelain doll. Now I understand why you can buy a sex doll in a vending machine in Hong Kong, because they don't have the capacity to talk back. I mean, the matchmaker is a straight up bitch, but even I would fail the girl that threw a pot of scalding hot tea in my face just to put out the fire that was on my ass. That's just bad home economics. Anyway, after the Huns invade China, the emperor requires one man from every family to join the Imperial Army, which, as it turns out, for one of the most densely populated countries in the world, equivalates to about 40 extra men. I feel safer already. Anyway, the Imperial Army just has to have Mulan's weak, frail, elderly, crippled father as part of their formidable 40 reserves. But Mulan has other ideas. She steals her father's armor, does a Britney circa 2007, and before you can say abracadabra, she becomes a he. She runs away, enlists in the army as a boy, and then under the mentorship of the hunky captain Li Shang, becomes a badass warrior in just the space of a few weeks. Well, I say badass warrior, but a more accurate term would be mass murdering ice queen. I mean, she literally buries an entire army of thousands in an avalanche that she causes. And does the bitch show a single drop of remorse or PTSD for her actions? No, honey, because emotions are for girls and they beat that out of her at booty camp. Ugh. And now a word from our sponsor. If you'd like to learn how to make a man out of you, then look no further than Shang's online masterclass, where you'll learn the key essentials to becoming a real man, like hopping on stepping stones, retrieving arrows, dodging rocks, catching fish with your hands, and smashing concrete with your face! Follow his 14-day program for the low price of $9.99 and you'll learn the skills that you need to be a real man's man, because masculinity is everything. Get some! Wow, I can feel my testosterone levels rising already. On reflection of Mulan, see what I did there? I have to say that Mulan is, without a doubt, problematic. I mean, when you have a film portraying Eastern cultures through the point of view of two very white Western male directors, then there's bound to be a few things that don't age well. I mean, all credit where credit is due. The exploration of Asian culture in Mulan isn't as bad as, say, "We are Siamese, if you please," or "Shanghai, Hong Kong, Fu Yang." Fortune cookie always wrong. But that's a very small hurdle to jump over. But when all you're doing is perpetuating Asian stereotypes, then honey, you're part of the problem.
Order! People order! hot like a pan-fried noodle.
Ooh, sweet and pungent shrimp.
Any opportunity this film has to name drop some Asian cuisine, it takes it.
Who's spitting her bean curd?
Now that's what I call Mongolian barbecue.
Egg rolls? Writers, I'm afraid that reading a Chinese takeaway menu doesn't count as cultural research. And what about the characters? Well, let's just say there's room for improvement. Well, let's see, we've got an ancestor with an abacus because all Asian people are good with numbers. Mulan has acupuncturist ancestors because of course she does. And just in case you guys couldn't tell if Shan Yu is evil, the animators decided to demonize him by giving him claws, fangs, gray skin, and beady yellow eyes. Either he's evil or he's got jaundice. And what spanks my pancake is the characterization of Captain Shang. I mean, yes, I would let him make a man out of me any day. But really, he's just an arrogant peacock of a man who's apparently allergic to shirts and got his job through nepotism. And when a woman comes along and does his job better than he can, his fragile male ego can't take it, so he rejects her, sends her away, and when she comes back to him with vital information about the protection of the emperor, he doesn't listen because she's a woman. Wow, he's a real role model for boys. I mean, the film does do a bang-up job of constantly objectifying him and setting unrealistic expectations for male viewers to look like him. Gotta love those messages it sends to young boys. Repress your feelings. It's a sign of weakness. Real men don't show emotion. The top qualities that any man should desire in a woman are pale complexion, unconditional admiration, and be a 5-star chef. And boys, if you're anything less than Shang's level of physicality, then no woman is ever gonna wanna see you naked. Mulan said it herself.
I never want to see a naked man again.
I mean, Mulan isn't much of a positive role model herself. We spend the majority of the movie watching her lie, cheat, and steal. And did I mention the mass murdering? But hey, for all you girls that are looking for acceptance and respect in your patriarchal societies, all you need to do is single-handedly save your country from a war and obliterate an evil dictator, and then people will start to take you seriously. I mean, even Mulan's family seems to prefer the fact that she brought home a man rather than the sword of Shan Yu and the crest of the emperor. Yes, let's celebrate a woman for her choice in men and not her accomplishments. That makes a lot of sense. A lot of nonsense. But looking for logic in a Disney movie is like looking for diversity in reruns of Friends. It's few and far between. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. This is a film where apparently putting 3 men in full drag and scaling the palace columns using scarves is a faster solution than breaking down a door. And I don't claim to know much about Eastern medicine, but apparently when Mulan is injured in battle and the mysterious medic comes from out of nowhere to help her, all it takes to fix a slash to the torso is some eyeliner and some cheek blusher. I mean, it works like a charm because she's doing hand-to-hand combat with a man 3 times her size, as well as doing parkour and jumping off of buildings later that same day. I think I need to switch GPs. Okay, I'm getting bored now. In the end, it only took Disney 36 movies before they finally had a Chinese leading character. But Mulan did help pave the way for so many other Disney Asian protagonists. Oh wait. 1. Well, I guess they did double it. Hooray for progress! But on the positive side, this film did challenge typical gender roles, and it also proved that women can in fact do anything that men can do. And that includes genocide. Hashtag equality. There we go, guys. That was my bitch fest about the 1998 Mulan. It's fun pointing out flaws, but were there any that I missed? I'm giving you permission to have a bitch in the comment section below. I totally care and value what you have to say. If you have any requests for movies for me to read to Filth, again, comment section below. Or if you really want to get my attention, DM me on Twitter or Instagram. Anyway, I'm done. If you guys liked it, hit like. If you want to, subscribe. I've become the very thing I hated on YouTube. Anyway, thanks for watching. Come back for more movie content with a smile.